Springtime is here. Springtime is here in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Springtime is here. How's Peggy Burton? I'm John Gray.
I'm just fine. I thought I knew who you were. I thought I recognized that face.
Thought you recognized that voice. How's things, folks? Hey, out there. Look at the sunshine.
I know, it's been beautiful for the last
Sunshine
few days.
for all the way through, I think, till Friday.
But the wind. Did you get a lot of wind yesterday? My yard,
I
the
don't know.
trees were just up and down.
What day was yesterday?
Yesterday was
Monday.
Who would know? Monday, yeah.
Yeah, there was. I wasn't at home. I mean, I was here, but
Sorta cool.
Yeah, there was some wind whipping around.
But it was nice. Fuzzballs on all my trees are all over the yard.
Really?
And I'm hoping, I don't know what they are, what they're from, but you know, you can blow everything off and 3 minutes later it all blows back.
Oh, it doesn't make any difference. It's going to be back.
I'm hoping it's about finished.
Sure is. Sure is. Yeah, it was, you know, I always say if you don't have anything to do in Tullahoma and the surrounding area, you ain't looking.
You ain't looking, that's right. There's something
Because
going on
this
all the
past
time.
week was full of stuff, and we were present at a whole lot of it. We meaning Channel 6
Right.
and representatives and family, and there was some great fundraisers
And they all
for some really good things. The fundraiser for Isaiah House was
That
on
go
Thursday,
really well.
and then we had TEDx
Right,
at
Civic
South
Center.
Jackson on Saturday, and
Nice.
it was wonderful.
Piping on the Green at Celtic
Piping
Club.
on the Green.
That's where I was.
We were there.
And for a
Then we
while.
went to the 20th celebration of Blue Monarch up
That-
on the
that's a
mountain.
wonderful group.
Oh, it's outstanding. So just things happening, and plays are going on, and I think
Yeah,
this.
I think Jungle Book opens this week at South Jackson.
Does it? Jungle Book?
Yeah, it's the youth group is doing it.
The Utes.
Youth.
The
young,
Utes.
young.
The Utes are there.
There's something going on all the time there.
Yeah, there is. Always.
And I'm excited
It's
about the
always happening.
jazz concert that's coming up on the 30th, which is International Jazz Day.
And that's on Sunday.
That's on a Sunday at
Which is
2:30.
really cool.
Well, there's a lot of people
because-
that like to get out on Sunday.
Yeah, and it's in the daytime, and a lot of people don't like driving. Older people don't like driving after dark. A lot of folks, and that's a unique set of patrons, jazz people.
Well, yes, I don't want to get to the point where all we do is theater, or all we do is
Country.
or all we do is. I think it should be a
Oh, heavens
wide
yes,
range
heavens
of
yes.
entertainment.
Don Jones, our friend Don Jones,
I love him.
came by yesterday, and I was in the parking lot, and he said, "Come here." And he has a car with one of these modern stereos in
Yeah.
it, where the sound is as good as a sound booth in a studio.
Right.
And he turned it up, and it was Earl Klugh. And he's one of the fabulous guitar players who plays with orchestras, and
Right.
and it just swept me away. And he played the song about halfway through, and he said, "Well, gotta go. Just wanted you to hear this." And I thanked him. Off he went.
He is a tremendous talent.
He's a very talented man.
A man that plays the guitar with the left hand. beautifully.
Upside down.
Upside down, that's right.
And backwards.
To me, that's amazing.
It is.
How he learned to do that.
Well, he's left-handed, and he picked up a guitar, and to play it, he turned it over.
He
He
figured
played
it
it,
out, yeah.
and the strings were on the bottom where they didn't. On the top.
And so he had to figure it out.
And he
Yeah.
he didn't know any different, so he started playing that
He
way.
made it work.
And he told me, and if you look at it ergonomically, it's a whole lot easier what you have to do with your hands to form the chords and stuff.
For him, it is.
Well, for anybody, if they learn that way,
Well, I
because
guess, yeah.
you're not doing a bunch of this stuff. You're not rapping. You're playing from the top
playing from
side,
the top, yeah.
and it's just easy for him.
Well,
He's brilliant.
He really is. He just has a touch with the guitar that not everybody has. He sounds great acoustic. I love that. That's what he plays mostly.
He plays a banjo you know, and he's one, and I'm one of these people who believe in music. Every beat doesn't have to have a note.
I agree with you.
You know, he plays softly, and you know, when you do something special, don't have something following directly after it, because
just let it
soak in and let the people enjoy what you've done.
Yeah.
And he plays a bunch of Civil War songs.
Yeah, well, and jazz
On a banjo, but on a banjo.
On the banjo.
And he plays them brilliantly slow. And because most people play a banjo, the faster the better. And he doesn't
Well, that's
get
why
drug in by that.
That's why I think audiences have to be trained to listen to different types of music and different types of
The
things.
Sound of Silence.
The Sound of Silence is beautiful.
What a beautiful song. Wish I'd have written that one.
Isn't that the truth?
Speaking about fundraisers and stuff like that, it's time for Alzheimer's Tennessee's Purple Olympics to come up. That's going to be May the 6th at Tullahoma High School. We're still looking for teams and sponsors. But this weekend is the yard sale
For
Alzheimer's Tennessee, and it is right behind the liquor locker on Jackson Street, the liquor store.
Right.
And it's in the building that once was a pharmacy behind it.
Are they still looking for stuff
And the
to
last
sell?
thing that was in there was Get More Subs, right behind the liquor store, and that's where the sale's going to be. And we've gathered stuff for the last 3 weekends.
Good.
And so from 8 o'clock until 2 o'clock this Saturday, there will be a huge yard sale.
And
I know there's a yard sale at the Methodist Church at the same time.
When you say
But
yard
that's good.
sale, are they inside or are they outside?
Well, we've got that building to where if it rains,
You can go
we're inside.
I think that's important for people to know.
Yeah, and then we'll have tents set up out front as well.
Sounds good.
So and we do that every other year.
So are you still looking for stuff?
If somebody wants to bring stuff, well, I don't know when Tom Rideout's in charge of that. He will probably be over there most of this week pricing and putting, arranging things in
together.
there. If you have something, but I know there's an electric children's car. I think there's 4 or 5 kayaks. A lot of people.
So a lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah, it's great stuff.
So
a lot of
many
really
people are
nice.
overloaded with stuff that they want to get rid of it. Some of it's never been used.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Somebody buys something on a whim and then leaves it sitting there.
And there was some. Tom is a great reader, as a lot of people are. There are a lot of very nice books there.
Good.
That are not first edition, but Grissom and different ones that are very, very published writers. And they're like 50 cents.
I know, you can't beat the deal.
And a really good book at a bookstore is like 25 bucks.
Yeah.
25 bucks. So that's what's going on there, and we'll have more about the Purple Olympics on the 6th of May, but we want to lead you to that yard sale this Saturday on the liquor store on Jackson Street, the liquor locker, and that's Hogan. Right, turns right there, and it's in the building that was a pharmacy. Looks like a barn back in the back there.
Yeah.
So that's where it is.
Place.
So you go to that and make everybody happy. Make Alzheimer's a memory.
And all those things are so good for research and everything else that has to do with Alzheimer's.
Very important.
I think everybody, especially people my age,
What?
about.
Who are you?
Who am I? Well, my mother had Alzheimer's. And
my grandmother had it.
And it's
Fran's mom had dementia.
To me, it's one of the most tragic diseases there is. It occurs slowly. Their brain slowly they get lost.
But
It's
the
sad.
one thing that stays is art and music.
More than anything, yes.
More than anything
I still
else.
remember that.
Notebook, the notebook,
right, yeah.
that woman's playing. And we had Dr. Potts was here from
He was
Alabama.
wonderful. I still read
and
his book.
his father
Was an
did
artist.
not paint or draw until he got to where he couldn't speak, and then he started drawing what he wanted
I just
people
think
to
that's
say.
phenomenal.
Oh, it's incredible.
I do. It's an
And
incredible
his pictures
thing.
are just beautiful, very simple, very rustic.
We need to bring more things like that to the public.
Oh, yeah,
Because I left there in tears.
yeah.
After listening
Plus,
to
he's
him.
a very talented man. He's a very talented writer.
about my
He's a
mom.
talented entertainer.
Yeah, he did a good job. And that's all attributed to Miss Fran Gray, who goes out there and finds these people.
She finds them, drags them in.
Drags them in. Does a great job at that.
Couple of spring things. This is in my book of Loku, that you can, or Loco, whichever way you want to say it.
Loco
That's
is-
Loco. Rear title collection is short related ideas that when joined together create an image which hopefully sparks the joy of imagination.
I like that.
Flowers bloom, birds resume their morning serenade, the sun hangs longer in the afternoon sky, new grass springs up through winter's carpet, and the first cutting releases the pungent smell of green onions.
Yeah, you're right. That's
And then
Beginning of
there's a
spring
couple
always
more
makes me
kind of
feel good.
springy or.
I had 2 deer roaming in my front yard yesterday.
Did you? Oh, they're everywhere. An otherwise mundane situation may be addressed by developing the coolest instrument in the toolbox, dance steps.
Love it.
Stretched between 2 cans are gracefully bowed by gifted hands, loosely pulled or tightly wound. Nothing can surpass the sound of strings.
I love strings.
And the air is warm, the night sounds fill the trees. The harmony with the radio voice of Rudolph Valentino as I dance with my love in the moonlight.
Sweet.
Huh?
Yeah.
What about that old boy? Huh? What about him?
You're a
And this one
romantic.
right here, if you take the time to look back, you will see a bright light that changed your life. 9 times out of 10, it will be a teacher.
I think that may be true.
It is true.
I know I certainly was impacted by a couple of teachers in my life.
And just how many have you impacted, my dear?
I have no idea.
A bunch.
I hope maybe 1 or 2.
It's been more than that. We'll be back after these messages.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. class. That Tennessee.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I'm blessed today to be surrounded by a couple of ladies that are here advocating for children.
Yes.
And this is Joanna Reynolds and Ivy. I've already forgotten your last name.
Petty.
Petty. I don't know why in the world I couldn't remember that. But anyway, thank you for what you do, because I automatically know that it's a wonderful thing that you do. So what's coming up?
We have a fundraiser
All right.
on April the 28th.
That's very soon, April 28th. Write that date down. And where is it going to be?
It's going to be at the detention, which is in McMinnville.
Morrison, Tennessee.
In Morrison?
Yes.
Okay.
615 School Street, actually.
Okay, 615 School Street.
Yes, ma'am.
And easy to find.
Very easy to find.
Yeah. And if they forget all this stuff that we say, is there a website or something they can go to?
Absolutely. They can check out our Facebook page for Coffee County Children Advocacy Center, or they can also check out our website, which is also coffeecountychildrenadvocacycenter.org.
So mainly, if you'll just remember, Coffee County Advocacy Center,
Yes.
dot this and dot that,
Yes.
you're going to get there and find out what we're talking about. So
Yes.
what all are you doing at the fundraiser?
Well, we're going to have a live and silent auction, and Miss Joanna's been helping me getting auction items together.
What are some of the items? Do you have a list?
Well, we have a Jack Daniels barrel that will be coming, a full barrel. We have a weekend getaway.
When you say a full barrel, what
Oh,
is it?
I'm
It's
sorry.
not full of Jack Daniel liquor.
No,
I'm
because
kidding.
like George Dickel donates a barrel head.
A barrel
And so
head.
Jack Daniels donates the whole barrel.
entire, and that's
Yes.
a fun thing to have.
It is a fun thing to have. We've got purses, Dooney and Burke purses. We've got Kendra Scott jewelry.
Wow.
We've got a weekend getaway in Pigeon Forge in a huge cabin. There's just lots
A
of stuff.
weekend getaway and a huge cabin that'll
Yes.
sleep a big family.
I think
or-
at least 8.
That's awesome. That's worth coming to the place just to get that.
I think so. And
Everybody
then we
needs
also have
that.
a guided tour by Jake Davis
Great.
on the area lakes, and it's usually at least a $600 package that he offers, and that will also be up for auction
So
as well.
You have got some really good
We do.
items.
We do.
And during the auction, what else is going on? Anything else going on? Do you have music or anything like that?
Well, there's going to be the arcade available. So every ticket
Good.
that is purchased, everybody will get a player's card, and that'll have $25 on it. So after you eat and buy stuff at the auction, you get to go play video games. They have putt-putt golf, they've got bumper cars, they've got laser tag.
Oh, people will come and stay.
I think so,
Yeah.
yes. We actually closed
They
it
go.
down last year.
Now, so you talked about boxed lunches. Are they for
Taco
sale?
bar.
Okay, a taco bar.
Yes.
So they can buy their lunch and everything. You want
Well,
to give
the
me a
ticket
price?
is included with the meal, so we got
And how much is the ticket?
$65.
Okay.
And you'll get the taco bar, you get an ice cream bar, you get the $25 player card, and we also have Common John Brewing Company. That is our beer sponsor, so we will have some beer and wine available as well.
So you have everything.
We have everything.
You have
We just
gone to
need
a lot
people.
of trouble. Let's make sure that
Yes.
everybody knows where to come.
Yes, please. And again, it is at the Detention Center at the Elementary in Morrison, Tennessee, 615 School Street. Call the office at 931-723-8888 for tickets, or again, reach out on our social media platforms, or even reach out on our website.
That seems to be easy enough to do.
I think so.
Joanna, how long have you been doing this?
Around 3 years, I've been helping on the board.
And you?
I have been involved with the Advocacy Center since 2009.
And that we've seen you before, I think.
Probably.
You know, a lot of people come through here, but it's such a. What are some of the things that you all represent? What with this money? What do you do with it?
So no child is charged for any services that are received.
And that is awesome.
So, and I have a few stats. So last year we served 310 children.
Wonderful.
And there's only 365 days in a year. So put that into perspective. 60% of those were due to sexual abuse allegations, which is, we do not enjoy discussing that, but it is facts.
It is a fact.
It is
and
a fact.
It needs to be dealt with daily.
33% of those were under the age of 6. So
Oh
that's
my
also
gosh.
heartbreaking, yes. 134 children received forensic interviews, and what that means is that the children come on site. We have a specialized forensic interviewer that only speaks to the child, but everything is video and audio recorded, where the investigative team, the district attorney's office, police, anybody involved in that investigation can watch the child go through the interview without the child being traumatized yet again.
That is wonderful.
It is wonderful.
And it's pretty amazing to all the thought processes that go into taking care of the child. Already
Absolutely.
the child's been abused.
Absolutely.
And the safer you can make the child feel.
Correct.
Do you have a phone number that people would call if they're suspecting abuse in their house?
So yes, there is a state hotline, and I'm sorry I do not have that memorized, but you can also go online to tennessee.gov and file a complaint for any type of abuse. It can be sexual, it can be physical, it can be verbal, and that starts the paper trail at the state level, and then it works down to each individual DCS office.
I mean, it's beyond my comprehension why anyone would ever
Hurt a child?
hurt a child.
Us too.
Is there, I remember a case close to me where when the child was, my mother reported it from another family that she figured it out. And the child was traumatized both ways. Hated to leave the home, but had to leave the home. And how in the world do you ever broach that?
Well, we actually offer therapy, and
Good.
it is trauma-focused therapy, especially for children. And actually, we had 363 therapy sessions last year alone. So again, there's only 365 days in a year.
So do y'all have a therapist as part
We
of
do.
your system?
We
That's
do.
wonderful.
And we also have an on-site medical clinic that is sponsored by our kids. And so when forensic medical things are needed to be done, they can come to our office in Manchester. They're not having to drive to Nashville. They're not having to drive to Chattanooga. So again, we're trying to lower the trauma that the child is already facing.
It's just amazing what you
Yeah.
do, and there's no end to it.
There is
I'm
not.
hoping there will eventually someday
Oh, yes.
be an end to it. but-
Please put us out of business.
Exactly.
We would love to be out of business.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
And, you know, every day you read about it, you hear about it,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
see it, and that hurts my heart.
It does.
It just hurts my heart. And little children often, I think, are sometimes abused, and maybe they don't realize it's even
Correct.
happening until it's excessive.
Correct.
And we just all need to watch for that.
Yes, we do. Be a champion
Be
for
a
a child.
champion for I like
Yes.
that. Be a champion for a child, because every child deserves the best
And a safe place.
in life, and a safe
Absolutely.
place. And you all provide a safe place.
Yes, we do. And we try to get them the help that they need. We also help the non-offending parents and family members with
Good.
resources that they may need. So it is totally all-inclusive for the entire family,
I know it's-
non-offending family members.
Right.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you're caught up with a mother, maybe the husband's abusive, maybe she's abusive, one or the other. But I'm thinking about a mother that is dependent on the
Yeah.
husband, and they have to they got to turn him in. They've just got
Correct.
to do it. That's got to be hard.
Yes.
You know, we've run out of time, girls.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you for having us.
Ivy Joanna, it was a delight having you
Nice
here.
meeting you
and
as well.
my heart is touched, and it almost brings me to tears. We'll be back, and I hope you'll come back.
Absolutely.
And good luck
Thank
for
you.
in the thing
Thank
this
you.
weekend.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for.
Check.
I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's games on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this, John, is Pat Welch, and we're here for segment 47 of the conversation with John and Pat. I'm 47, just short of heaven, no question.
Pat, you know, occasionally when a gentleman does not have very much hair like you nor I, we get teased.
Like you?
Yes. And we have to just take it lots of times, but it seems that the ladies, you know, just get off scot-free and they And we've always done a song. Jimmy, my brother, does a song. It's called I Think I'm Going Bald.
Yes.
And it's real cute.
John, let me ask you, this may be a vanity problem only of myself. When I close my eyes and think of myself, I've got great hair still. And every once in a while, normally I've got used to looking into a mirror, but if I see a reflection in a store door, clear glass, and the sun's hitting perfect, and I first think, who is it? And I realize, oh, that's me without any hair.
Going back, drifting back in your youth, maybe, and remembering that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still thinking I'm 22 years old, and I had nice hair.
But since we have done that song, and I came up with this next song.
You didn't answer the question whether you thought the same, John. Do you see yourself as bald now or not?
Well, sometimes not. Don't get too deep into that. But occasionally, after we do I Think I'm Going Bald, we'll do this song.
Okay.
This is for the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Even up at the playfield.
Yeah.
I can't figure my baby out. She's either up or she's down. She's either wearing a smiley face or wearing an awful frown. When she's in those terrible moods, she's cranky and acting strange. I just get back out of the way until her hormones change. Singing about the hormones, ooh, yeah, women and the hormones. Wish my baby didn't have none of them pesky little hormones. Sometimes Sweetie tells me that I'm her Romeo, and I'll think to myself it ain't nothing about women I don't know. She'll give me a kiss and I'll strut around just like I'm the cock of the walk. Next thing you know, I've made her mad and triggered her hormones off. Singing about the hormones, ooh, yeah, women and the hormones. Wish my baby didn't have none of them pesky little hormones. I know Sweetie loves me, she's so tender and soft. She's just plagued with hormones, Lord knows it ain't her fault. I know she'll stand beside me throughout thick and thin. I don't blame her, but she gets mad and says, hormone time again. Singing about a hormone, ooh, yeah, women and a hormone. Wish my baby didn't have none of them pesky little hormones. Singing about hormones, yeah, women and their hormones. Woo.
John, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, sometimes.
But you know you can't. If you accuse one of them of having some kind of hormone problem, they got to deny it if they get all crossed and you played right into they played right into your hands.
You're going to get me in trouble, and you're going to get in trouble if we keep talking about that.
Let's go to something else then.
Yeah, we're going to talk about softball in Tullahoma. Years ago, there used to be, of course, they have fast pitch ladies high school softball, and then Motlow plays fast pitch. But years ago, there were around this town in the early 70s through the 80s maybe, there were so many softball teams, slow pitch softball.
It was really, really big, and we had the recreation department had still got several fields, but they had even more than then. They were incredibly maintained.
Yeah.
And we'd have tournaments after tournaments in the summer where there were just thousands of people brought to town.
I know Paul Keller brought a guy here one time, and his name was Crusher. I don't really know what his real name was. But he was that person that would hit home runs nearly every time he got up there, and I think just paid him a minimum fee to come and do that. And
one of the I believe it was the field closest to the highway over at Wagner Park. Still there now. They said pitch after pitch, he's putting them up in the trees.
Crusher.
Yeah,
Crusher. I'm going to look him up on the internet sometime, see what his real name might be.
It'd be either a WWE wrestler or this guy.
Keller Chrysler, you remember Paul Keller? He had a team, A&G, Aero, Flea Market, Callaway's, Rigney, 41 Drive-In, Air Force, Worth, WJIG, Diner, Business Card, Tullahoma Power System, Bassmasters, Genesco, Kill Drillers. That was just the men's team in town. Then you had ladies' team, and then you had church league teams, some industrial teams. I mean, softball was a big thing, and maybe people weren't longer hours where they can't feel like they can play after
It
work.
seemed like it changed almost overnight. You know,
It
there
did.
was a real demand for a really long time, but when it fell out of favor, it fell out of favor.
It did. There was I can't remember the name of the organization that oversaw softball in the beginning, but Paul Keller came along later with AAA softball. USSSA. Philip, put up that team picture, please. This is a team that I played for. I played with Keller also, but I played with Ben Jordan and WJIG. And I want to point out the players on this team because they were good guys. First is Dennis Nesbitt on his knee, and Kenny Parker.
That's going across on the knee from left to right.
Yes.
Correct. Keep
Jackie
going.
Dickey, Mike McKenzie, Doc McKenzie, Larry Mackin, who was out at Motlow. He played a shortstop for us, I think. Randy Cunningham and Ben's Jordan there. And you notice Ben's doesn't have a hat on there.
That could have been one of the few times ever.
Yeah, and then on the back row, Ricky German, myself, Don Phelps, Jerry Farrah, J.R. Farrah, Stan Lindsay, Sammy Edcock, who's deceased, Kenny Parker, and on that first row, Wayne Limbaugh, and then Ed Jordan, who was the owner of JIG and sponsor of our team. But also on the team was Gary Lohorn, and he was not in the picture. But
John, a lot of y'all kind of went back and forth from Keller's team to WJIG. Was there any kind of monetary?
No.
What was the negotiating tool there?
I didn't negotiate. I just went to another team. I just felt like it's time for me to go somewhere else. I played with Keller, and we had a good team.
Well, that team you just had up there was a fine
They
team.
were a good
Those are
team,
great,
and these were
great
young
players.
guys. Most of them were young guys back at that time, out of high school, and they were good
Philip,
ball
can you
players.
put that picture back up there? John said something about Larry Mackin that played at Motlow. He's
He was a
in the
basketball
dark
player.
jersey, kneeling. He's the one on the right of the dark jerseys, and he probably weighs 125 pounds if he's lucky.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have been but about 5'6".
Boy, he was good.
Oh, he was one of the finest
Smooth.
athletes that's ever been out in our area. He played when Joe Days was coaching the basketball team at Motlow. And if somebody would press, they'd signal for everybody to get on the other end of the floor, and he'd bring the ball down by himself.
Perry County. From
That's
Linden,
Linden,
Tennessee.
Linden.
And on the back row, second to Wayne, next to Wayne Limbaugh back there, and between he and Stan Lindsay, was Sammy Edcock. And Sammy, as I understand, died in a plane crash.
He
It's
did.
been a long, long time ago.
It's
but
been 20 or 30 years ago.
20 or 30 years ago, and that was a tragedy. And then Kenny Parker, down on one knee there, Kenny had a little substance problem, and poor thing, and the tragic, yes. But these guys were good. I see them ever so often, and I was married during that time, and all these guys, you know, they were most of them was, I think all of them were single back at that time, and I'd go home to my wife and kids.
I would describe 99% of those boys as single but highly eligible.
We had a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've been Signal Pat, and it's been
That's
good
it.
to think about WJIG, Keller, and all these other teams. I have a lot of friendships in town from people that I played with back during that day.
That was a great time for city taxes, because there was a whole lot of hotel taxes collected while when those tournaments were going on. They came from all over the country here, some.
Number 47, Pat?
That was 47, John, and it was a great one. Hopefully management's going to let us crawl up on 48. Thank y'all.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
At Clayton's Shoe Mall, we're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back and they're back. They are everywhere. I've been out this weekend and I saw one or both of these girls just about every stop I made. The Chamber of Commerce is wide open in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and every place surrounding it.
Well,
and
thank
you girls, Hope and Tisha, are doing a great job at what they do. And you have a really big event coming up.
We do, yes. So we are going to honor and celebrate some women that are impacting our community on Tuesday, May 9th. And so just so excited. We received so many nominations of so many deserving women. And now the committee is going to have the very tough task of wading through those nominations to find our finalists.
Would you remind me, how many years is this now?
So this is our 9th.
Is it 9 years?
Annual
Golly, that's wonderful.
Women Impacting the Community
Yeah,
event.
that is really wonderful. And there are, what are the categories?
So the categories that we have received nominations and will award are community service, business, education, and lifetime achievement.
So, and that really hadn't changed since day one, has it? That's sort of been the way it is, yeah.
So the first
That's
year,
wonderful.
they did not have lifetime achievement. And so the second year is when they added that category.
Added that one.
And so, you know, it's an incredible honor, I'm sure, to all these women that someone took the time to nominate them and recognize them and say, I see you and all the hard work that you're doing. And so we're just excited again to celebrate these incredible women at a really nice event on Tuesday, May 9th. And the event is sponsored by Smart Bank. And then our award sponsor is Woodard's Diamonds and Design.
Imagine that.
And then Vanderbilt Tullahoma Heart and Hospital graciously sponsors the tickets for the finalists and a guest. And so when we call these people and we say, congratulations, you've been nominated, they get to attend the event and bring a friend or a family member with them, thanks to Vanderbilt. And so it's a huge sponsorship that we're very, very grateful for.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. Women.
Mm-hmm.
You know Michael Bush, who is an artist down in Bell Buckle?
I have to say, I'm not
He's an incredible artist, and he's had shows at the center. He did a whole thing of people who are underappreciated in artwork, and he showed one that I really loved, and it was a gentleman in a suit with a cup of coffee, and the whole picture is him and he's a cup of coffee, and when you look down, his feet go through a glass floor and he's standing on a woman's shoulders. And I think that says so much that for years women were the foundation of most things that happen but we're never seen.
You know,
And I think it's wonderful what this does in the celebration of women and the work they do in our community. And not just our community, but all over the world.
Absolutely. You know, I feel that we're just going to let you keep talking. But we are incredibly honored to celebrate these women, and it is such a wonderful event. Tisha, you want to talk a little bit about the nomination process and how we gathered this great list of women?
Absolutely. So we have been seeking nominations for the past month.
Right.
Of course, we use the power of our audience on social media and our email lists, and of course, as you mentioned, the many places we go, we're always talking it up and sharing with our networks and circles of influence.
Sure.
But we've been seeking nominations from everyone, men, women, businesses, individuals, and we've provided that opportunity. And Hope mentioned a lot. I mean, when we say a lot, when we make this joke in the office, we printed out the list and it totals 5 pages at about a 6-point font. And so all the words that have been said about the women in our community, that committee truly is going to have their work cut out to make bring it down to our list of finalists, which we're glad to honor, and then those final 4 that we will award at the event.
So, and just to give everybody a sort of a guess, are there 20 nominees for each category? Or are there 40 nominees for each category?
Each category is unique.
Right.
Obviously, lifetime achievement, there's going to be a little bit more present as far as history, tenure, and involvement with the community. The years are going to total just a little more than maybe the other categories. And so, but business, for instance, we had 15 nominations in business. 15 in community service.
That's great.
And so, and then we also had, was it 8 in education?
I think so, yeah.
8 in
Yeah,
education.
closer to 10 for sure.
And so, so you can see that those business and community service categories were the most popular this year, and so it kind of varies year to year. But how amazing is that there were 15 women serving in community service that somebody took the time to sit down and nominate.
I
and
think
say,
it's marvelous.
That they're doing all these great things for the community, and the same for business, education. Our educators, oh my goodness, we know that they work so hard and in so many different ways, and sometimes maybe aren't as recognized as they should be. So very excited to honor these educators. And then of course, 3 women that have done a lifetime worth of great things.
Right, right. That's just wonderful.
I know one thing that I would love to highlight, the event location.
Yes.
This year, traditionally we've held it at Lakewood Golf and Country Club, but we have a new location. I thought we could share about that.
Where's that?
Well, do you want to do a drum roll? No, I'm kidding. So we are going to have it at the Atlantic, which is a new woman-owned business in downtown Tullahoma. So we are bringing the event to downtown Tullahoma, working with Rebecca and the owner there. And so we're really excited. The country club has done a fantastic job all these years, but when it was brought to our attention about this great business, and it gives us an opportunity to maybe grow the event a little bit. So maybe you weren't able to get a ticket in years past, and so we were able to have more women celebrate with us at this new location. So we're very, very excited.
Well, I'm glad to see that was done, the repaint of the building.
Oh, it looks great.
the name, and I kept going, Atlantic what? I kept waiting, Atlantic what? And then I think, well, no, just
the Atlantic.
The Atlantic.
Yeah.
It's really, really good choice.
Yes,
it's classy,
yes.
classic.
We like
Good
it,
choice.
and we're heavily involved in the process. And again, we're very excited. In fact, this afternoon we'll tour the venue and kind of make some last minute notes, but it's going to be a great event. And so if you don't have your tickets yet, get them now, because we are already at the halfway point.
You know, with at one point I thought, well, does the city need to buy that building? You know, I mean, I thought because it's downtown, you've got the Chamber of Commerce downtown, you have City Hall down there. I mean, because since Mr. Markham's building is full, the room that we used to be able to have, there's not anywhere in Tullahoma to have an event.
It is
basically
great to be able to have an event with 250
I think it's
attendees.
marvelous.
One of the things we're also really excited about for this event that we haven't touched on, our keynote speaker this year is Dr. Monica Blake Beasley. So I don't know if you have heard her story, but it is incredibly impactful.
I lived her story.
Well, there
I
you
mean,
go.
she's I think maybe a year older than my son.
Okay.
So we went through sports, school, all of that with Monica. Oh
yes.
yeah.
Well, she is going to do a great job. We are
She's
so excited
she
to
is
hear from her.
phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And she was as a young woman, and she was as a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was special since, I mean, from day one. She was just special.
Well, we are so excited to hear her story,
yeah.
and honored that she's sharing it with this group of women too. And so,
yeah.
Like we said, it's such a great event. I don't know.
So let me ask a baited question.
Uh-oh.
Seeing as how you two put this event on, how's it go about that somebody nominates y'all?
Well, it's so funny that you should mention that. Tisha was actually nominated 3 times this year.
All right.
And so, yes, she received 3 nominations.
And Hope was nominated as well.
Yes.
So,
good.
Yes. Thank you to everyone who sees us and our hard work. And of course, Lily, we have 3 incredible women in our office.
We have a great team.
And Lily Smith, that's our marketing communications coordinator, she works so hard too and deserves just as much thanks for everything that she does. And so, again, we're truly honored. And hearing what the great things that people had to say was really special. And so, while we cannot we can't be like, and the winner is us.
Well,
we can't do that.
Don't.
But we save them because
allow
they're so
yourself
special.
not to be celebrated.
Well, maybe
because you deserve celebration.
Well, thank you.
Both
thank
of
you
you
so
do.
much.
We appreciate that.
You stayed the course.
Well,
Yes,
that
you
is
have.
very kind of you
Well,
to say so. Thank you.
It's very
so
true.
much.
Very
Well,
true.
we appreciate it.
Y'all have created I don't want to say a monster. Well, I don't know. Some monsters are wonderful. Look at Shrek. I mean, what a great movie. I mean, but y'all have got that thing. Y'all have got that thing running like a big machine.
Well, thank you.
And it's wonderful what you've achieved.
And it's been very intentional. Everything
Obviously.
everything that we do is well thought out and is very intentional.
Yeah,
and so we appreciate you saying
Well,
that.
you deserve the prop up, and you deserve an award. We'll figure out some kind of award to give you to.
3.
3. Well, no, wait a minute. We got you got to spend a little bit more than a year.
Well, she's tips her year mark.
I understand. She's lovely and does a good job, but you two fought the battle for a long time.
Thank you.
And it's a battle. I mean, it's a battle. Anything done well is a battle.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's good days and there's bad days, and there's people who just do not want to understand, or people who want to push their agenda on somebody else, and it's tough to do something good.
Oh,
it really is. Some people don't like good stuff, but you two have stayed in there and fought it and won the battle.
I also just want to take a moment to highlight the women on our board of directors and our ambassador program and on the committee that are all working so hard on this event. And then Troy Martin, who has joined our board this year, is also on that committee. And so we really value his input on the event, and just looking forward to, like I said, celebrating a great day. But
Still have some tickets left.
These women that are working with us are also so deserving of recognition and thanks. And so we really just want to say thank you.
Thank you, yes.
Well, we thank you for coming and spending time with us and helping us share what goes on in our community with our 6-county audience. Because, that brings people in from wherever we go. We stretch a little bit further than some of the others, and we have our own YouTube channel, and so It's out there.
My husband watches on YouTube.
You know, it's amazing. It's amazing how many, because Tullahoma is a very transient town.
Yes.
And there's people who move in here from California and Florida and different facilities involved with the Air Force.
Yes.
And they travel all over the world, and it's amazing where people watch what we do.
Yes.
And it's, you know, people who have been here and move away and still watch on YouTube. They can see just like they're sitting in their house right here. So it's a wonderful, good thing.
It is, and what we'd love for them to know is that you mentioned tickets are still open. So we'd love to share with them how to get those tickets. You can visit our website at tullahoma.org or call our office. I see the phone number listed, 931-455-5497. But we would love to connect with tickets, with a special note that as soon as we announce the list of finalists, those tickets will go faster than ever, so please do go purchase them soon.
We through?
I don't know, are we?
Well, no. Because I want to make a statement right here, because I know at some point she'll see this. One of the women that impacted this community and impacted my life and still does in a wonderful, wonderful way is Blanche McClure, who's 99 years old this year.
Oh my goodness, wow.
And she was a teacher at Tullahoma High School. Her husband, Creed, was a football coach and a principal at Tullahoma High School. And she is still just as bright today at 99 years old as she was at 49 years old.
So special.
Blanche McClure, you impacted our community and you impacted my life, and I want to thank you very much for that. And thank you, girls, for being here.
You also have one other woman that's impacting your life that we've awarded.
Yeah. I couldn't live without my friend.
That's right. And we all appreciate everything that Fran does for this community.
Friends,
so selfless.
And her family, that whole
and
family has been.
Smiling and happy and genuine, and those are not easy traits to find these days.
No, it's not. And she worries about folks and even the people that she doesn't agree with. She worries because she doesn't agree with them. You know, everybody needs a little help, no matter whether you're for them or against them. They all need help.
Well, we are all proud members of the Fran Fan Club.
We are.
Yes.
We are. So thank you, girls, for being
Thank
here.
you for having us.
Anytime. All you got to do is walk through the door. We wouldn't make it in this town without women like these two right here. So they can't win, but they dang sure be celebrated, and you make sure and be one of them that does it. Carry them a donut down there or something. Bring them some flowers. Get them a box of candy, whatever. Join the Chamber of Commerce. How about that? That'd be a big gift for all of us. You don't have to be in business. You can be an individual and join and know what's going on in this wonderful little town we live in. We'll be back after these messages.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, this past weekend, like I said earlier, there was so many things going on that everybody couldn't get to everything, but we got to most all of it. And my buddy Andrew Todd was over at Piping on the Green, and what we're going to bring you is sounds and sights of Piping on the Green.
But I'm still thinking how it is clear. I know what I will do tomorrow when I'm totally shaken. This is flow. I will disappear. Tell you that I love you and that I think about you all the time. Count it to
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Good morning there. Thanks, John. Good to see everybody. You and TV land, we're glad that y'all are seeing us too. Thank you, camera ladies. Good to see y'all. Couldn't do it without y'all. And hello, Dot, and hello, Justine, and hello, all our good viewers and listeners that have said they like this segment of the show. We love to share it with you. Let me ask you to go back in time. Not too far back, but about 1940. This time of year, in 1940, 60 years ago, the war clouds were rumbling, and it looked like that good old U.S. of A. might be involved in some wartime activities, and the authorities that powers that might be selected in their selections of training camps for Army and Navy and Air Force, selected Tullahoma to be a training ground for the Army because the terrain around here was much like that in Luxembourg and France and Germany. And of course, even before 1940, Tullahoma has always been a training ground for military people. Like in 1926, Governor Austin Peay established a National Guard training center in East Tullahoma, where the Tennessee National Guard came every summer for a 2-week training from all over the state, and they trained at Camp Peay. Most of it was infantry, but even before that, from January of 1863 till July of 1863, General Braxton Bragg had some 25,000 troops in Tullahoma and Manchester and Sheville, having retreated from the Battle of Stones River in Murfreesboro. So Tullahoma and the surrounding area have been for many, many years the center of training activities for the armed forces. Now, back in 1940, it was determined that they were going to build a big Army training center in Tullahoma. That decision was made in September of 1940, and construction began in October, late October of 1940, and Governor Prentice Cooper named this Army training base Camp Forrest in honor of our great Southern Cavalry leader, General Nathan Bedford Forrest from Memphis, that was a great leader during that time of the Civil War, and rightly so, because he was such a great, great leader. And Tullahoma, a sleepy little town of 3,000 or 3,500 people in September of 1940, grew almost overnight to 15,000 and 20,000. The workers came in from all over the southeastern United States seeking jobs for the construction of the camp. They slept in cars, they slept in trucks, they slept in tents, they slept in attics, garages, barns, wherever they could find a place to rest their head. And to get a job, they had to belong to the Carpenters Union, whose headquarters was in the back of a grocery store on Wall Street in Tullahoma. And they'd go to sign up to get a job as a carpenter, and the union officials asked them, "Where are your tools?" And they said, "Well, don't they furnish tools out there where they're building?" They said, "No, you got to go get some tools." So Lawson's Hardware was just 2 doors from there, and those seeking membership in the union would go up to Lawson's and buy a hammer or a yardstick or a pound of nails or something related to construction, and go back down, and they'd sign them up in the Carpenters Union. All those construction workers and truck drivers and lumber people worked around the clock for months and months and months. That winter was one of the worst winters that was ever took place in this area. It was either mud one day or dust the next. It was just horrible. But they've got gravel to try to lay some roads out there where they could get to the construction site. And those big old international dump trucks got gravel from the quarry at Normandy and Lynchburg and Hillsboro. And again, they work around the clock to get that material down there. Well, the first troops moved in late February of 1941. The 181st and 191st Field Artillery moved in, and they were from Middle Tennessee. And then in March, the Illinois National Guard was federalized, the 33rd Division, and they moved in March of 1941, some 25,000 of them. And they went on maneuvers, and the picture that you see now is Gate 1. I made this picture in 1941, and it's straight now, I think. I hope. Can you see it? I hope you can. I was waiting. I delivered papers out there and delivered groceries out there, and I was waiting to get in the gate at that time. And while I was waiting, I stuck my little camera out the truck window and made this picture. It's the only picture I've ever seen of Gate 1. It's been used by hundreds of people, and it's put on a postcard, and that guard that you see in the picture happened to come by a few months ago and said, "You know that picture you made of the Gate 1 in 1941? I said, "Yeah." Well, he said, "I'm the guard that was standing there directing people in," and I had remembered his face, but I didn't know his name. And he was also head of the military police headquarters next to the City Hall up at the corner of Lincoln and Atlantic Street when camp was here. Nice fella. And people come every month or so to visit or show their grandchildren where Daddy served and our granddaddy served his basic training at Camp Parsons. A very interesting place. It existed from 1941 when it was built until 1946 when they raised it, and you can only see footings and foundations of some of the buildings out there now. But it was a great place, and we really enjoyed meeting a lot of nice people from all over the country. One lady came by a year or so ago and said, "Do you remember where the hospital was?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, my father was in the 168th Field Artillery from Colorado, and my mother was expecting me, and he brought her with him when they came to Camp Forest, and I was the first baby born at the hospital there at Camp Forest." Very attractive lady. She said if they ever have a reunion or a gathering, I'd love to come and be part of it. But we made a lot of friends through the years, and it's been real fun. Would you believe that when Camp Forest was announced, there were 2 taxi cabs in Tullahoma and Manchester combined, and at the height of the camp there were 886 taxi cabs in Coffee County, and they stayed busy all the time. The troops got out on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock for a weekend and had to be back on the base by midnight Sunday night. And you can imagine when those special trains came in and brought them back, what a fight it was for a taxi cab. But it was a whole lot of fun, and you know, there was a patriotism and Americanism, a loyalty, and a cooperative effort because of wartime that we haven't seen since then. And everybody enjoyed it and cooperated for the war effort. And let me tell you, there's a whole lot more to come. This is not the end of the story, and I'll be looking forward to sharing some more with you. And until then, you have a good day.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, we're back, and you know we just enjoyed being with you today. We have another segment coming up about the 20-year anniversary of Blue Monarch, which is at a undescribed location because it's a place where
they have a new place, if I'm not mistaken,
well,
within the last couple of years.
No, 20 years they've been at the same spot.
But I thought they built a new place.
They built new buildings.
Okay.
They added more property.
Added more property. Right.
Yes, they bought another 50 acres, and they're adding more buildings and stuff. Oh yeah, and it's about abuse and alcohol and drug rehab, and it's a place where women can bring their children.
Right.
And go through this together with their children, and it's a lovely, lovely place and lovely people who have made this happen, and we're just very fortunate to have stuff like that around us. And so before we get out of here, I want you to remember the yard sale down behind the liquor locker for Alzheimer's Tennessee, and let's go to Blue Monarch right now, and thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out at Blue Monarch, and I'm going to give you a video, show you a little bit of the campus here, and we're here for their celebration, and we'll get some interviews here in a minute, but this is a beautiful place out here in the middle of nowhere, and it's where the home of Blue Monarch. And we're down at the houses right now, and they're beautiful colors. And this is a place, a safe place where people can come and be cared for. There's a playground for the children down here, and it's a lovely, lovely area. There's more of the Blue Monarch campus. Beautiful. Blue Monarch is 20 years old.
Sifting through the noise, navigating life. It's hard sometimes. Overcoming lies, messing with our minds. We get lost sometimes. Everybody's looking for the real thing, searching for something with meaning. We can be the change, loving through the hate, walking in the reason we're alive. Trust that God saves, living out of faith. Show the world the reason we're alive. We're alive. We're alive.
I have done life with everybody that was there 20 years ago. And so I think that's such a great indication of how Blue Monarch becomes a family, and it becomes a permanent family. The first graduate that we had, she was known as the Betty Crocker of meth. And there is a story about her, but she was the greatest teacher that I had. And I really felt like God sent her in the beginning because he knew I was in way over my head. In fact, I remember when Crystal, the one with the little girls that you saw, when she came out here the first time, I picked her up and I drove her all over creation because I didn't want her to be able to tell anybody where we were. And so I drove her all over the place and pulled up finally, and she said, "Why didn't you just turn down Prairie Plains?" And I said, "Man, I am so in over my head." But I'm excited today because you are going to get to hear about the Blue Monarch from some unique perspectives. Jeannie, who is on our staff, who was here in the very beginning. Lauren, who's on our staff, and she was also a resident. And then you'll also hear from Savannah, who's in our program currently.